Shop at ageofthestoner.com. Right now, in 2026, most conversations around commodities are still stuck on short-term trade headlines. People are watching tariffs, disputes, and policy noise like it's the main story, but it's not. Because while attention stayed on 2025 disruptions, the real shift has already moved into positions for 2027, and the groundwork is being laid today. Back in August 2025, the U.S. introduced a 50% Section 232 tariff, but it didn't hit raw copper. It targeted semi-finished goods, pipes, wires, connectors. This was never meant to be the end game. It was a positioning move because the lifeblood of the global economy, refined copper, was intentionally left untouched. Now, we're here in 2026. The focus has shifted. By June 30th, 2026, a major federal review is due. And it's not about finished goods anymore. It's about whether the U.S. should apply tariffs directly on refined copper itself. That's the material behind AI data centers, EV infrastructure, energy grids, defense systems. Early recommendations suggest a 15% tariff starting in 2027, possibly rising to 30% by 2028. This will move policy from influencing supply chains to controlling raw material access. There's more. A domestic sales requirement is also being considered. This will force U.S. producers to sell a portion of copper inside the country. 25% in 2027, 30% in 2028, and 40% by 2029, meaning copper would no longer fully flow to the highest global bidder. It will be prioritized internally. Why now? Because demand pressure is already building. AI systems, electrification, data infrastructure are pushing copper usage towards long-term deficiencies. Global demand could rise dramatically by 2040, but supply isn't scaling at the same pace. And the geopolitical dimension matters. China still dominates refining capacity. By moving toward tariffs on refined copper, the U.S. will be targeting that midstream dominance directly. This is no longer a theory. Companies are already shifting behavior, locking in supply agreements, investing directly in mining access, because physical availability is becoming a strategic advantage. Some analysts still talk about temporary surpluses, but real industrial markets are tightening, and any domestic retention policies will amplify that globally. Price pressure is already being discussed. Earlier projections suggested potential increases by 2027. But with policy shifts now in motion, some forecasts are rising toward $13,500 per ton. So this isn't just a future shock, it's an unfolding transition. The June 2026 review may become the pivot point where global resource access moves from open markets toward strategic control. Which systems win in a resource-constrained world? Open markets or domestic prioritization? Let me know in the comments. Starman Media, out.